day before Thanksgiving 2025, and we're going to have a visit at the Detroit Historical Museum. Let's see what we get. Well, that museum was actually closed for some reason, so we've come across the street to the Detroit Institute of Arts, where that appears to be open. There's a beautiful piece here as we approach Thanksgiving. And the main hall, take a look at the beautiful lights there. Fabulous looking space here. Interesting piece there. The Mask of Humankind. Beautiful color there. Very nice. Beautiful architecture here. Religious theme in this room. Souvenirs belonging to pilgrims in there. Very nice rooms here, very high ceilings. Crucifixion, about 1470 they say. Beautiful stained glass here. Virgin and Child statue. Another Virgin and Child. Mourning Virgin, as in sadness. Kind of looks like a church building in here. Beautiful windows there, very high. Look to be about 18 feet high. Very nice. Another Virgin Annunciate. Madonna and Child. Christ's entry into Jerusalem. Kind of a neat little alcove in here. Chapel from that's the information on that. Beautiful little space there. Madonna and Child. How about that? Guessing some sort of water fountain. Interesting artwork in the glass. Very nice. I've never been to this museum. I think this whole area has to do with Madonna and Child. Nice little spiral stairway here. Nice miniature, very highly detailed artworks here. In the Baroque room. Beautiful lighting in here. Beautiful reddish atmosphere. Martha and Mary Magdalene. The concert. Modeled for the chair of St. Peter, 1658. Cool chair, bro. Ottaviano. A little bit tough lighting in here for that kind of shot. Virgin Mary and Infant Jesus. A lot of religious overtones so far at the museum. There's that painting without that glare on it. The Triumph of Truth. Nice double cup. Looks like the Stanley Cup for hockey. Neat looking the wedding dance, 1566. Going way back there. Nice tapestry here. Very large. Here's a ornate piece. It's like a chicken. It's a rooster's crow clock. Not sure it operates now. So this clock is a wind-up piece. I don't think it works anymore though. Beautiful painting there. Eleanor of Toledo, and not the one in Ohio. A couple bows and lids that have this beautiful color to them. This is entitled It's a Boy. Clothing was way different back then. 1607. At the age of 2. The Prince of Urbino. Very nice. Some more beautiful pottery here. Beautiful vase. Very nice. Great looking colors. So this room is, as most of these rooms are very attractive. The ambiance is very nice. Yet another rendition of Virgin and Child, about 1470 is the year of this. Beautiful piece. Another nice area in the building is right here. Here's some other stained glass windows. Very colorful. The time before photography. Queen of Cyprus in 1505. Bit of a chipped nose there. Nativity. 1490. Wow, this artwork is incredible. Interesting furniture there. from the 1500s. Another beautiful room. Paintings of color. Madonna and Child. It seems like the 1500s were all about religion. Rose garden. Looks like kind of Italian there. Early 1500s. It's amazing this art was made that far back and still in great condition. Adam and Eve, 1528. A lot of great items here. Love these colorful pottery items. Very sharp. And the ceiling has a painting on that. St. Michael in around 1510. More stained glass. Very nice. Beautiful lighting on this sculpture of Saint Sebastian. Also around 1510. I love the way they have this lit. Very nice. St. James the Great as a pilgrim. 1465 through 1500. That's limestone. Very nice. Reliquary. About 1300. Wow, I'm going back further and further here. Very nice. That is a casket. St. George and the Dragon. Dragon seems to be biting the horse. This piece is entitled Charger, 1480 to 1500. St. Armor, 1580. I don't know how much vision you would get from that mask. Another armor. $1585. Steel and leather. Beautiful stained glass there. Very, very large. So attractive. Beautiful hibiscus vase. 1889. Very attractive. Neat clock over here. 1882. It's called a tall case clock. I wouldn't say it was very attractive there, but it's hard to see what time it is. Table manufactured around 1885. Beautiful ornate design there. Very nice to walk around in here. Beautiful colors. Of course, the art being the focal point. Very nice. Beautiful structure there. Imagine that must have been for very high ceilinged rooms back in the day. And this is a cabinet made out of walnut and oak, 1876. So imagine having that moved into your house. It looks like it's about maybe 18 feet, 20 feet high. Water carriers, 1892. Now that looks familiar to people that live in Pennsylvania, or Philadelphia in particular. This can be found at the top of City Hall in Philadelphia. That is Billy Penn, as we know in Pennsylvania, or Philly. Another nice table there. Look at the ambiance in this room. It's incredible. I'm not sure if the lights put a glare on what my eyes are seeing, but trust you're going to want to visit this museum. This is William Page, about 1860. Nice color there. Very nice. American artists in Italy is the representations we're seeing here. Faisal. The head of Medusa? Very nice art here. So many treasures here. Hopefully you're enjoying this visual presentation of high art here in downtown Detroit, Michigan. Home Fields, about 1885. It's one of my son's favorite pictures. Honor that. Mosquito nets. Madame Paul Porson. Madame Paul. What a name. I don't know about those parents giving that kind of a name. Judith Gautier, about 1883. Alexander Cassatt, 1880. Painted by Mary Cassatt. Some nice color here. Very nice. More pottery here. Nice pastel colors. The Manuvian wing. Chairs. And a box from the late 1600s. Mary Edmonia Lewis achieves success in Italy. Nice fruit plaque there. I like this room. Look at the decoration on here. Nice easygoing pace. Oil on canvas. Peaceful water there. Here's a nice floral still life. Very nice. Something reopening next year sometime. More attractive pottery and beautiful colors there. loving that flowers, somewhat similar to sunflower design. Beautiful. About 1906, 1902 on this one. Very nice. I'm really liking that. It's considered the African American Art Gallery. Loving that art there. That's beautiful. Very nice. This was done around 1946 through 1950. It's called Single Track. Very attractive. Very nice. Nice sofa here. It's long enough to lay down in. About 1840. Here's a nice piece of African American art. 1935. Very nice. Here is a sculpture. Very nice. A nice brighter room in here. Pretty striking. Interesting naval art. This is a sculpture made out of steel and automotive parts by Richard Hunt, Chicago, Illinois. You'll find this room often illustrated in everybody's travelogue, vlogs, if you will. This might be the what they consider as the centerpiece of the museum. You have to come here and see it for yourself. The scale of it's pretty large. Auto industry highlighted here. Enter the modern art area. Interesting. Nice shot there. Nice colors there. Portrait of a postman from 1885. Both of these are The elegant one from 1954. Very nice. So this is aged at 320 to 310 BC. Man, that's pretty old there. And this is attributed to the artist known as the Baltimore Painter. Interesting. Native American art. Beautiful. Real nice. Nice hand mask. We're down in the Native American art section in the first floor. That's a massive piece right there. Beautiful. Nice focal point there. Different masks here. Forest spirit. Really nice. Beautiful color there. Do it from the DIA for this visit. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, I'd appreciate very much if you'll leave me a like, click for notifications, and subscribe for more similar great material. And as always, I thank you for watching another Street Rodder King production, and we'll see you somewhere down the line. Have a good one. Figure holding a trophy head, year 700. Nice. Nice piece of art on the way out. Apparently this is the museum entrance and it's not on Woodward. It was definitely the exit for sure. Interesting metal sculpture there. Very nice. The Science Museum is across the street. This is John R., if you're interested in that. Very interesting. Since we're down here, might as well see some other sites, at least Jack White's Third Man Records. World-renowned record store. They actually have a record press that usually is in operation at any given moment. Neat posters there. nice gumballs here. Recording booth. Record your own voice. Psycho candy. There's so much to look at in this place. It's always fun to stop in here. Nice guitar there. Various Sun Records 45s. Here's a very small beverage holder. Glasses here. Let's see what else. Poster of the White Stripes. Lots of apparel here, of course. Nice. Lots of yellow, except for the sun glare. Always cool music going on in here. Pretty neat. Hopefully I'm not going to have trouble editing this with the music. Very nice. It used to be with the White Stripes that the color combo was red and white and black. So like this store, it's yellow and black. How about some hot dogs here? Neato. Pins galore. That's the maker of fine timepieces, well known in Detroit. And fairly high price. Wax-O-Matic injection mold machine. It makes Third Man Record replica out of wax. If you're interested in that, it's kind of neat looking there. Actually have that magnet there into the building. Kind of neat there. Phone booth. Ornament of the guitar. Pretty cool. Listening booth. Cool machine noises, bro. Some guitar pedals. Triple grab. Nice guitar cord there to an amplifier. Nice. Nice little ukulele there. Got that right. Nice stage set up here. They usually have times when they will play on this stage in this store. That must be a fun treat for those who get to witness that. Some nice equipment here. inspired by White Stripes, I believe. Red and white Fender amp. Nice guitar there. Very cool. And back here is the record press area. There's a clock that's I don't think has ever worked any time I've ever been in here. Some work is going on, actually. That's good.
About 66 nice rings.
Nice color there, black and yellow, primarily. Another place to go is City Bird. Nice little store. All kinds of souvenirs, trinkets, and all that kind of thing. Nice glassware in here. Very sharp colors. Nice flags in there. Colorful. Lots of people around the day before Thanksgiving. Commonly heard around the area. Some nice shirts over here. If you ever get a chance, this pizza is the best. Detroit style is the best pizza, in my opinion, that I've ever had. The old Journey song speaks to that fictional area. Kids Tigers, that's pretty cool. Interesting take on the statue that you find downtown. Don't Stop Believing. Since, yeah, well, that's the last year they won a championship with the football team. So, if you go back that far, and if you don't, then you have never seen a championship by the Lions. Very nice. Nice thank you cards here. And a lot of different things here.